going into the offseason, we were all talking about who the Niners going to sign at quarterback. And I wanted Mariota. And the way I looked was whoever they sign is going to indicate which quarterback they believe in more, or that Kyle believes in more, Brock or Trey. And the reason I wanted Mariota is I felt like that indicates being all in with Trey, actually committing to that style of offense.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the Eagles, who are running that style of offense. And Mariota's talking about, I'm here for Jalen Hurts. I want to help Jalen Hurts. Yeah, great. Niners signed Sam Darnold, who to me is a bigger, slower version of Brock Purdy. So that's, to me, it's not a good sign for Trey Lance. And it's not like I'm rooting against Trey Lance. I wanted them to sign Mariota, but God, this is just another little piece of evidence that makes me feel like Lance is on the outs in Santa Clara. And again, I don't know why, and I hope he gets the opportunity to prove him wrong. Mm-hmm. But man, this doesn't feel like good news. And if I were Trey Lance, I'd be like, boom, here we go again. Here we go again. Now you're building the Brock Purdy offense. Got it. Okay.
I don't know if I see it the same way. I mean,
hey, how do you see it, man? Because this is bleak to me. I don't like this. I mean, I like Sam Darnold, but I don't like what it means for Trey. Put it that way.
I think Kyle Shanahan has had a team where the quarterback cannot stay healthy.
Mariota.
And so here's the thing. Darnold is not an upgrade from Jimmy. It's a downgrade from Jimmy. None of the Jimmy, Brock, Trey Lance, they all had different styles. Kyle has not really shown that he gives a damn about styles necessarily. From an athletic standpoint, Darnold's a big, strong dude, kind of like Trey Lance, more so than Brock. I just see Sam Darnold. To me, I see Sam Darnold as that was the best quarterback that they could find at a reasonable price, and that's why they went with him. That's how I kind of look at it, in their opinion. I think that's why they got Darnold. I don't necessarily know if it means anything about Trey Lance or Brock Purdy necessarily. I just think Kyle's always kind of had a thing for Darnold. They could get him for a decent price, so they got him. I don't know if Kyle Shanahan – I think he's just a little bit there's a history of injury here, and he's trying to have an insurance policy. Who's the best quarterback I can get at a reasonable price? Because we cannot keep quarterbacks healthy. I'm sure he doesn't blame himself for that, but he's just had a struggle keeping quarterbacks healthy. Brock Purdy's unknown. Is Brock Purdy going to come back? Is his arm going to be the same? When is he going to come back? Is Trey Lance going to get injured again? Because Kyle's probably going to keep running him. I think Sam Darnold, to me, I just look at him as an insurance policy.
Right. No, the question is he better than Marcus Mariota? Mariota got a 1-year, $5 million contract with the Eagles. Yeah. Darnold got a 1-year, $4.5 million contract with the Niners. Mm-hmm. They had their choice. The Eagles basically said, hey, you choose. We'll sign a guy after you. And the Niners chose Darnold, which he's younger, and maybe he has more upside than Marcus Mariota, but I think there's a clear difference in style. Mariota is a great fit for the Eagles. And I thought entering last season that the Niners were trying to transition to that kind of an offense with Trey. But now I feel like they're not. And maybe that's a good thing. I mean, you didn't really want them doing that kind of an offense. Maybe this feels like, they're going to be more like a Brock Purdy. They're going to continue to do what they were doing with Brock Purdy last year, but Trey's going to get an opportunity to do that. And they're not looking at him as a Marcus Mariota dual threat type, even though Kyle Shanahan literally called him that 2 months ago. I don't get it. He didn't used to call him that. Now we call him that after he got hurt. But maybe this is an indicator like, hey, Trey, no more zone read. You're coming off a really bad injury. Why don't you just do play action? I don't know. Maybe he's a play action quarterback now.
I hope so. I think that's how he needs to be used. Yeah. I just think Trey Lance is unknown. Brock Purdy's unknown, like especially coming off the injury. Now, Brock Purdy wouldn't be that much of an unknown had he not come off an injury, even though it's a small sample size, it's 8 games. But coming off a UCL injury on your throwing arm, there's question marks when it comes to Brock Purdy. With Trey Lance, it's been such a small sample size. There's question marks with Trey Lance, and they need to make sure that they have a serviceable quarterback. And, Mariota, I think me and you talked about it. I would rather have Mariota as well over a Sam Darnold. But Kyle's always had a thing for Sam Darnold when he was coming out of the draft. I think he was excited to be able to get a player like that as a QB2, QB3. I don't necessarily know if that means they're down on Lance any more than they were before they got him. I think Kyle just doesn't have an answer at quarterback. He either because of injury or because of just they don't work out, and he's trying to find it still in year 7. And I just think Sam Darnold is a good QB3 and kind of what Kyle likes.
I have a feeling that he liked Sam Darnold a lot coming out of USC. But I also feel like Kyle Shanahan, he'll watch a quarterback on tape and decide, man, this guy is exactly what I want. Like, he signed off on Jimmy Garoppolo. He signed off on Trey Lance. But then he'll bring the guy into the organization, and there's other things like the personality and the brain. And I think with Kyle, he likes the way Jimmy throws the ball. I don't think he minds Jimmy's physical limitations, but Jimmy's mental limitations, his inability to make quick decisions or good decisions, just killed Kyle. And I think he felt that right away. Like,
Isn't that Darnold?
as soon as that's what I'm saying. So he might like Sam Darnold. He might be like, I like the skill set, I like this and that. But once he gets him in the room, and if it's 6 months in and Darnold hasn't really gotten the offense down, he'll sour on him real fast. I mean, one of the reasons that Brock Purdy and Trey Lance are here is because they're so smart and they make good decisions. Like, they're not trying to make this the Jimmy Garoppolo mistake again. That's why they give these quarterbacks these cognitive tests, because God knows what Jimmy would have gotten it.
Sam Darnold has not proven to be a better decision maker than Trey Lance, and he's 5 years into his career.
Dude, he hasn't proven to be a better decision maker than Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's why I'm not sure he's looking at Sam Darnold like, yeah, this is my guy.